Hi everybody, this is Flora from the Good Luck Lady and Wicca Workshop. I promised a long time ago that I would do do-it-yourself Money Mojo quick class so that you could watch it and see how I do my mojo hands. It's not exactly the same for every person because I do change it up over time. But tonight we're going to do a mojo hand for money. And this particular person that I'm making it for completely agreed for me to film the making of her mojo. She is wanting to increase the money that she gets through her business. She's self-employed and she's a private contractor. So she is working with all of the blocks that are in her energy system that are keeping her from making the amount of money that she wants. She wants a six-figure income, and so we're working on that. So I'm going to go through the process that I use for her. I have 7 herbs that I've picked. One of them is going to be the backbone for the mojo. There's fumitory, which is a wealth building herb, and I use it for her base chakra so that she can better create a money paradigm that builds a new money story where she's manifesting money powerfully in the present. She's a great money manager and constantly building on her skills every day. We worked really hard to cleanse all the blocks that she had from her family's money story, which wasn't so great. I have orris root, which is for passion building and relates to the second chakra. She needs to know that she's good enough to charge a higher price for the types of clients that she's seeing. Right now, she's just basically giving her services away, which isn't a great thing. So I ask that she know that she's good enough, that her vibration resonates with a confidence throughout the universe. She no longer has to prove her worth because she embodies her worth in every action and decision that she makes. Okay, so Piece of Solomon seal, that's what is going to be our backbone for this particular mojo. It is a power building root or herb, and this one I'm using a root because I want her to be acting on her goals while she's releasing the outcome to the divine. So she's like, okay, I really want to do these things, and however it turns out, God's going to guide it. I want her to discover and honor her unique natural gifts as they exactly are and what her life purpose is. This is Yerba Santa. This is related to the heart chakra. She has a lot of healing to do around money because she's been let down quite a bit, and she self-sabotages when it comes to her money. So she'll be going along great, and her business will be going great, and then suddenly she just dumps it and does a whole different thing. So she has no consistency in the work. And we've all been there and done something similar. Like, we know we really have a bill we need to pay, but going to the movie sounds a whole lot more fun. This herb really helps with that. So I ask that she may she heal her belief that she is deserving of abundance and wealth, and that she'll act with the same level of care and compassion toward herself that she reflects to others. A lot of times people who are perfectionists really flub up in the heart chakra area with money. Okay, so this one is really ground up slippery elm. I use it in a soap for something else, but I didn't have any whole leaf, so you're getting the ground up part. Okay, so she needs to build a better voice so that she can talk about what it is that she does, and she can be honest with her spouse about money because she hides bills. She's afraid to show him her credit card bill, things like that. So I've asked that she tell everyone about her gifts in a way that those who need her talents hear her and line up to get what she offers, and for her message to reflect her true values, and that she may attract people who share her values. I also put in there that I wanted her to be honest with her husband because she really values honesty, and when she's hiding bills, that's not helping. Okay, the next one is Coltsfoot, and it's for vision building. She's really gotten blocked about what it is that she wants to do next. She can't decide if she really still wants to stay in contract work or if she wants to move on and do something different. And then the final herb that we're going to use tonight is self-heal or heal all. It's for clarity building, and I wanted her to release her limitations that she set on the divine. She has a huge temple in her home, and she gives a lot of restriction to what her divinities could do, her deities can do, because she worships them in the fact that they do these things in the world. And instead, I wanted her to take a look at the divinity as a whole and that God is limitless. So those are the herbs we're going to use tonight. I always start my sessions with a cleansing water. This is Florida water that I've put into a spray pump because it's easier. I always clean my hands off. It has salt in it, has a little bit of rosemary and clove in there as well. And I'll spray these other things down in a minute. For me, when I do a money mojo, I do them in red. I know a lot of people do them in green for growth and things like that, but money is really related to the root chakra and our what we need for survival, because we have to have money. So there's a couple of things that you can use. I have one that I've gotten from Lucky Mojo. It's a flannel bag. You can sew one as well. There's quite a few other places on the net that you can get them. I just happen to like Lucky Mojo's size. This is one that I've made her. So I pulled it off the loom. It's very soft. It's something that she's going to use in meditation, and I've made the drawstring a ribbon, so it's pretty. She likes pretty things like that. Okay, so first I'm going to work with the herbs, and I'm going to start with the Solomon seal. I'm using my own blend of Lady Luck oil, I put a few drops on my hands. I've marked this. You can't see it well enough in the camera, but it's marked with the rune, and I'll show you here in a minute. And I'm putting energy into this root so that she can have the wisdom to make good decisions about her business and her money. And I drop it in there. And I line it up kind of in the middle. Okay. I have a piece of cheesecloth, and I learned to do these with cheesecloth with Native Americans that I worked with in making little medicine bundles and tobacco bundles and things like that. I like it because it gives room for and space in the cloth for the herbs to breathe, and they don't get moldy and nasty over time. So I'm going to do the fumitory, thinking about what it is that I wanted her to do to build a better paradigm, a better money story for herself, and that she's a better money manager. The orris root to help build her passion for what it is that she's doing so that she loves doing it. We already have the Solomon seal so that she honors her natural gifts and she does exactly what her life purpose is. The yerba santa to heal, and that she has compassion towards herself and stops acting like a perfectionist and not forgiving herself over changing things so much. The slippery elm, so that she'll speak what it is that she wants to say about her business clearly and be understood, and that the people will hear her. The colt's foot, so that she has a clear vision about what it is that she wants to do and she acts intuitively on that. And the self-heal, so that she heals this relationship that she has about the divine being limited, and that she gives the divine, she kind of surrenders to the outcomes that she's getting. So I draw the bundle together. I use a red thread. Red is a very powerful color. It reminds me of blood, but it also is the color that's used in a lot of rune work, and I like working with the runes, so that's why I use that color. So I draw it like that. It doesn't create a knot, so I tie another knot. This also keeps the herbs from going everywhere and making a giant mess inside the bag, especially if you hand weave your bags, because that's all you want is for all the herbs to fall out and get nasty. If you have somebody that likes to use whiskey on them, they get all hard and disgusting, and people have sent me some that I've thought, oh, wow. Okay, so there's the first knot. I flipped it over. I'm tying the second knot. That was the second knot. And here's our third knot. By the knot of 1, the spell's begun. By the knot of 2, let it be true. And by the knot of 3, let it forever be. I'll save that thread maybe for something else later. Trim the top off. I do a lot of sets of 3. I count the herb bundle as one component. The herbs act as the personality builder. I come from a belief system where your ancestors give portions of their personality to you while you're in the womb with your mom. And so the herbs are kind of like personality builders for the mojo. So I want those herbs to have a resonance, like what I talked about earlier. I want them to resonate a certain thing for my client. So I do that. Finally, I put a transmitter of some sort into it so that it radiates out of the mojo, and the mojo has a way to communicate or a way to send an essence out. And I like to use crystals for that. I have used animal curios, beads, things that from a person's property. Sometimes I will use a personal concern of the individual. She didn't feel comfortable sending a personal concern, and I understand. So I've already been charging this on a piece of sacred geometry that I have, but I'm going to place it in there for her. And finally, the petition paper. I like to use fancy paper. The way that I do it is I have the person sign their name, then their birth date, their name, and so forth, all the way down. I like 9, 13, 11. And then for this particular one here, we'll pretend that she signed her name along here. I had her turn it towards her, and then I had her write out a prayer that was important to her. And she used the prayer, "From the light of God that I am, from the love of God that I am, from the power of God that I am, from the heart of God that I am, I decree I dwell in the midst of infinite abundance, the abundance of God in my infinite source. The river of life never stops flowing. It flows through me like sacred expression. God comes to me through unexpected avenues, and God works in a myriad of ways to bless me. I now open my mind to receive my good. Nothing is too good to be true. Nothing is too wonderful to have happen. With God as my source, anything is possible. I am tuned into my greatest potential, and I'm constantly moving forward into the light of this potential. I'm not burdened by the thoughts of the past or the future. One is gone and the other is yet to come. By the power of my belief, coupled with the purpose of fearless actions, my deep rapport with God, my future is created and my abundance made manifest. I ask and accept that I am uplifted in this, and every moment into a higher truth, my mind is quiet. From this day forward, I give freely and fearlessly into life, and life gives back to me with magnificent increase. Blessings come in unexpected and expected ways. God provides for me in wondrous ways. I am indeed grateful. I wish this abundance for everyone so they may also be blessed by the goodness of all. Amen." So she's written this prayer out. Now, here's where the runes come in for me. When the client sends this back to me, or I do it for them, depending on them, I start with writing a Fehu rune in the corner, and then I turn it. And I do another Fehu rune. Fehu is an energy building rune. It's a sending rune. It can increase wealth, but it can also add a lot of energy to a particular thing. And then I draw a giant ing in the middle of this, and then I do a set of runes. Ing, when you do things in the middle of ing, it's like opening a doorway. So I'm turning her need with Nathis. I'm adding energy to her with Fehu. Suelo builds on her skills. Taiwaz sends the direction so that she acts justly in the world. Thurisas so that it hits the mark. Manas so that she works in a divine way. Lagus so that she uses her insight and her psychic gifts. Jera so that it lasts throughout the year. That it bring her joy with Wunjo, and that it be protected with Iwas. So, now, I can either fold it towards me, because it's going towards her, and turn it until it's smaller and smaller, and will fit into the mojo. Or, I can make a little origami crane, which I like to do for a lot of people, and drop it inside. This is a power-packed mojo for sure. Now, when she gets it, she'll want to name it. I tie it off. I consecrate it with smoke. And I bless it. Oops. That's the Money Mojo that I made. If you have any questions, send them to me at Facebook. I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. And I wish you all the best. Thanks for watching.